Hi y'all, so it's been a while since I've posted. Been a bit busy, haven't really been able to, and anyway, I figured I would go ahead and take this chance to go ahead and do so. So I have heard from some people, seems like I'll have quite a few questions. I don't have long to talk. The housing I'm in right now, the walls are pretty thin, so I want to make sure I finish before the person in the room next to me gets back and starts knocking on the wall to get me to shut up. So to start off, as far as some of the comments that were posted on my moving out video, so someone had asked if it was easy to extend my stay. Yes, it's very simple. Obviously, the amount of complexity is going to differ a little bit depending on your individual situation. But really all you have to do, you just let the school know and you let your school know. Make sure that your FAFSA is updated so that you'll get whatever financial aid that you need. Definitely the sooner you do it, the better. When I extended my stay, because I did it a little bit late, I didn't get any assistance for my second semester. So it was entirely out of savings, which I can definitely tell you kind of sucks. So definitely make sure that that's something that you take care of. That's something that's going to be, kind of a hinge pin there for you. If you don't have a visa, which if you only originally came in for one semester, you probably won't since you wouldn't need one, you will have to leave the country because you're able to use your temporary visa here in Japan, so long as your stay is within 90 days. If it extends past that, then you are going to need to leave the country and come back. You have to make sure you have an exit ticket to show that even though you're coming back into Japan, you do plan to leave again within that 90-day period. Or you can try and apply for a visa. But those you do have to apply for some time ahead, and it does cost money to do it. But if you don't have a visa, you can't work, and a lot of housing isn't going to be available to you. Of course, a lot of the housing also has time requirements. So if you need the visa because you're here for a amount of time, it's all going to kind of probably even out for you. As far as that, there's quite a few different places you can look for housing if you don't want to stay in the school dorms. Of course, there's also the homestay option, although those are a bit more expensive. But if you do say, for instance, a school dorms, it does also cover your transportation. Otherwise, you have to pay for that yourself. As far as looking for your own housing, there's many different options. You can go out there and look for yourself. You can take a look at Sakura House. You can look on Airbnb. There's definitely plenty of opportunities available to find things there. Also, I had someone asking about the age range of students here. Honestly, it is pretty wide, especially with the American students. With the Chinese students, they tend to be a little bit younger for the most part. Depending on what they're coming here for. There are some of them that have already got their degrees and are coming here to learn Japanese because they want to work here, and so obviously they're going to be a little bit older. And there's some of them that are actually coming here because they want to attend a graduate program in Japan. So you're going to find a decent range of people. Mostly they're going to be probably around 19 or 20 years old, but you do have older students as well. Especially the Americans tend to have the older students, I think. I've seen students, in probably their mid-30s. So if you're looking coming in later, that's fine, and really you don't have to fill that out. Someone asks your age and you don't want to say, you can always, just say, it's a secret, and you'll be just fine. So really don't worry about that. They're not really going to judge by it. As far as the Koreans, I would say the guys tend to be a little bit older than the girls, just because they have their military requirements, so a lot of them do come after that. As far as percentages, I would say about 80% of the school is Chinese, then about another 10% is Korean, and then say 5% is American, and the other 5% is from other countries, other parts of Asia. Now when I say American, I basically just kind of mean English speaking. You will also have students here from the UK, you'll have some from Australia and things like that. You'll have students that speak English that maybe aren't from countries like that. Like they could be from France or Jamaica or, whatever. So there's definitely a good mix of people. Also, they do currently offer at the beginning of each semester, you'll usually hear if you want to study Chinese, they'll offer Chinese courses. Of course, you have to pay for the textbooks for it and things like that, but that is an option available to you. Definitely if you know any Chinese or Korean or any of the other languages that are here, they'll be more than happy to talk with you. Everyone's pretty easygoing. So that's something that is available. Someone also wanted to know if they had no experience with the Japanese language, if they wanted to learn, if this would be an okay program, and absolutely. I mean, whether you already know some Japanese or you don't know any at all, this program is, I think, perfect just as long as you're willing to work. There are some students here that came that were a little less than enthused over the fact they actually did have to study. If you're looking at coming to Japan, not because you want to learn the language, but just because you want to study abroad and just have fun and party and do whatever, this isn't the program for you. You might be able to get away with it, but honestly, you're going to be wasting your money, and it's not going to be worth it for you. If you really do want to learn, then absolutely, this is the perfect program. Now, whether or not you have experience with the Japanese language, it does start off pretty quick. The classes are entirely taught in Japanese. So, just as I'll tell you when you apply, just make sure you at least study your hiragana and katakana so you can at least, even if you don't understand it, at least kind of read what they're writing. That's definitely, I would say, pretty key. But honestly, I don't think it will take you that long to learn. There's 46 characters in each of the 2 syllabaries. But they go pretty quick, and there's a lot of similarities between the 2. It's really not very difficult to learn. If you'll have any questions about coursework or about how to say or write or do something or methods for learning, let me know and I'll be more than happy to upload a video on that for you. Kind of let you in on some of the things that I've learned while I'm here. I am in my 3rd semester. We have midterms in about a week and a half, so it should be fun. So I think I've definitely been here long enough that I can probably answer pretty much any questions that you have about the program or how you go about doing things or any advice that I have. Because I've been here for a while and I've done pretty well on the program. Let's see. Now, as far as a placement test setup, so when you come in, you'll be met at the airport. Depending on when you come in, they may or may not send your luggage ahead for you. When I got here, that was something that was provided. But I came in the spring semester, so there was fewer Americans. From what I've heard, the past summer semester, the students that came in, that wasn't offered, but there was also a ton of students coming in. So I would imagine that the quantity of students that are arriving would determine whether or not that's something available. Definitely, it was very convenient. Also, there are several new dorms that they've started using this semester. I've heard they're really nice. I haven't seen them. They are a little bit further out. They are still using Ikebukuro dorm. I'm not sure about Kasai. I think they're still using that one as well. And then they have their newer dorms, which I've heard are quite nice. I've seen some pretty cool pictures. If you look around on the website, you can see some of the pictures of them, I think, that were posted. It seems like I recall seeing them when they had first released the information on that. Anyway, back to the placement tests. So you'll come in, you get picked up at the airport. Tanaka-san and probably Ai-san and Ryuhei-san will all meet you. They'll give you some basic information. They'll give you a sheet of paper that has some basic phrases that you may need to know. It'll also have the Japanese for, like, how do you say, verb, adjective, noun, things like that. Those are things you're going to want to know because, as I said, classes are taught entirely in Japanese. So when you're learning, it is helpful to know what part of speech it is that the word that you're being taught is for. But honestly, you'll pick it up pretty quick, I think. So you'll go ahead and get that. Everyone goes to the dorm, or if you're going to be doing homestay, then you'll meet with your homestay family at the station, and you'll go with them from there. If you're going to the dorm, everyone will progress together. If there's more than one group, go separately. Whatever, it works out pretty well. And you'll have a decent ride from the airport, so it should give you plenty of time to kind of talk and get to know each other. Because here in Japan, we don't really talk on the subways and the trains. But coming back, you can be pretty sure that y'all are going to be talking and getting to the dorm. So go ahead and take the opportunity to get to know each other. So you'll get into the dorm, you get checked in, you get some basic dorm rules, you'll sign a piece of paper saying, you know, yes, I agree to do this and to not do that, to abide by the curfew, whatever rules your specific dorm may have. I believe that they're all the same. And then you'll go ahead and you'll have a day or two to kind of rest and relax. And then I believe it's usually Monday, but sometimes it'll be in the middle of the week depending on your arrival time. You'll go ahead and you'll go in. Everyone comes in together that's come in that semester to take the placement tests. And honestly, looking back, in my opinion, the placement tests are pretty much like what you'll find on the midterms and the finals when you're actually going to school here. So there's definitely a connection there. It's not like in college where nothing has like lows, at least some schools. you know, where you take this test or this quiz and then the next one you're just like, what am I looking at here? So there's a lot of consistency, which is good. So basically there will be different parts of the test. There are going to be, for instance, an audio section, I'll have a grammar section. Depending on what level you're testing into, you might have like an essay section, kanji section, things like that. Going into level 1, if that's what you're looking into, you don't start learning kanji until halfway through the semester. So don't stress out about learning kanji ahead of time. If you do, it's helpful, but it's not necessary. Just focus on the hiragana, katakana, and they'll help you out from there. As long as you're willing to study, you will be just fine, and it does go slow. And you'll find, in my opinion, the first semester is the best semester because everyone is there new together. So you're all trying to figure out what's going on. You'll bond really well with your first class. Like I'm still, anytime I see anyone from my first semester, I'm always like, oh, Hisashi buddy, you know, how are you doing? And so we'll connect really well with them, regardless of any language barriers. I might have to redo this video. I don't know how long YouTube lets you upload videos for. 11 minutes now, though. It's getting kind of lengthy. So you'll have different parts of the test. And obviously the rigor of that test is going to correspond to what level you're trying to test into. Yeah, feel free to review if you want. You can actually get the textbook online. Because I remember I had ordered it a while back because I'd heard it was a good textbook. And then I got it and I was like, I thought this was the English version. Why is it all in Japanese? And I never really looked at it that much. But if you want to look at it ahead of time, you can. It's really not necessary because it's included in your tuition. You don't have to pay for it like the other students do. So why buy it ahead of time if you don't have to? So you'll be fine with that. Let's see. I think that was basically what people wanted to know for right now. So I'm going to end the video with this, and I hope you all have a great evening. Thanks. Bye.